Today we have a bit of a delay, the election blowback, firestorm, and much, much more coming right up. Welcome to Black Spring on your Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring. Now, I want to give a shout out to loyal patrons Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, Angels Army, The Definition of Anarchy, Little Miss Goth, Chrysler Imperial H, and Gary L. Youngkeese Jr. And a special shout out again to Cold War Jesus. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And thanks so much to everyone that could join me on the Flash Moonlight stream last night. Thank So hoping that I'm seems maybe it's even a camera issue. So if it continues, I'll just switch to the avatar instead. But in the meantime, I want to shout everyone out, whether you are driving along or if you are joining from your mobile device or another device. Thank you so much for coming in. So we got quite a few stories. Our we have I'm going to go ahead and switch. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we have politicizing at the late Representative John Lewis's funeral. We also have a little bit a different perspective on AG Barr's testimony from earlier this week, and we have a little bit more of a follow up on the Portland DHS action, and yeah, we'll get started there. Hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to Unique View. Shout out to everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please keep an eye on your community tab. If you will take a look, we do have an article currently, a new article that's on the actual community tab right now. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And we should have some other announcements coming out very soon. A new guest announcement coming out soon as well. So thank you guys so much for all that you do and all of your patience. So I guess we'll start with a bit of the firestorm. If you can see from the actual post on this stream, that President Trump has mentioned concerns about the mail-in voting, and I'm going to give you some footage from that, and then we'll go into it in a little bit, some commentary. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this segment on your Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to that story right now. Also, if you would take care to hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, or throw caution to the wind and share, or even just make sure you're still subscribed. Take care in all that you do in Channelytics and communication. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Good morning to the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you so much for coming in. Good morning to Keith the Faiths. Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to take you to the coverage on the, I guess a little bit of the blowback on the idea of, well, on the concept of delaying the election. I'm it's almost, I'm not even sure if it's a matter of him calling their bluff or, I think it's interesting, no less, but we'll see where it winds up, because there's all kinds of things that are going on, and they've been busting people all over the country, the couriers, unauthorized people taking on ballots, domestic animals, names found on ballots. I mean, ay, ay, ay. Good morning. And I am on this avatar because I'm not really sure what's going on, but I will try to, if I can switch back over, I will. But it seems like the avatar is working more consistent than the camera function right now. So I'll get out of that and move on. But good morning to you guys. I hope you're having a great Friday and off to a great weekend, rolling into the weekend in the way you want to. So we'll just go with that for now. So if you guys hit your like button, your thumbs up or thumbs down, it's all about channelytics and just kind of combating the technocrats or whatnot in these times, because they do what they do. So if you didn't watch any of the four CEOs, they have huge disinformation campaigns, and hate speech is what they're trying to prevent. They've got their own army. So without further ado on that, I'm going to go ahead and take you to the clip here that I have a sound bite for you. And thank you guys so much for joining me on this segment. Lockhart's Perspective said, "Let Skippy vote." So bad. I can't even believe, I can't believe this is going on. But no, it's not. It's not that I can't believe it. It's just there's no end to, this is beyond dirty. But you have people that will offer a defense in these situations. They have no issue. So what we'll do is, it looks like we may have a slight delay on that one, so we'll take you to another one. Thank you guys so much. So I'll take you to the president himself addressing the tweet, and he'll give you the background on why. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Joshua Goff, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you guys for all that you do and your time, investing your time here on Black Spring. Okay. All right, we have audio for you.
As news breaks.
Are you going to launch an effort to try to delay the election, or was that just a trial balloon this morning?
Well, what I want to explain to people, but it doesn't need much explanation. I mean, you look at article after article, New York's mail vote disaster. Tens of thousands of mail ballots have been tossed out in this year's primaries. What will happen in November? It's a mess. This is done by Washington Post. Can you believe it? The Washington Post A mail experiment reveals potential problems within postal voting system ahead in the November election. And you see what's happening with so many different places. As I've been watching elections, and they say the projected winner or the winner of the election, I don't want to millions of universal mail-in ballots, hundreds of millions. Where are they going? Who are they being sent to? It's common sense. You don't have to know anything about politics. And the Democrats know this. The Democrats know this, Steve. So I want an election and a result much more than you. I think we're doing very well. We have the same fake polls, but we have real polls. We're doing very well. I just left Texas, and Biden came out against fracking. Well, that means Texas is going to be one of the most unemployed states in our country. Frack. Literally, potentially, if you really did it right, years, because you'll never know. These ballots are missing. You saw Patterson, New Jersey. You saw many other instances. There's tremendous litigation on that right now. And that doesn't include absentee. Absentee is different. Absentee, you have to work and you have to send in for applications. You have to go through a whole procedure. Like, for instance, I'm an absentee voter because I can't be in Florida because I'm in Washington. I'm at the White House. So I'll be an absentee voter. We have a lot of absentee voters, and it works. So we're in favor of absentee, but it's much different than millions of people. In California, they're going to send out tens of millions city councils are in big trouble now. Voter fraud all over the ballot. So no, I want to be standing, hopefully hand held high, big victory, because we're doing things with our country. The world, by the way, devastating. One of the articles that came out was the world's COVID resurgence. This is the Wall Street Journal editorial, the main editorial yesterday in the Wall Street Journal. I don't always agree with them, but they have the world's COVID resurgence. Countries hailed as models to see a certain everybody was holding them up and saying what a great job they did. Well, it's just one of those things. Didn't work out so well. So we want to have Republican China. They much easier for foreign countries. Go ahead, Steve.
But delay in the election is probably a non-starter. I mean, wouldn't you agree with that?
I just feel I don't want to delay. I want to have the election. But I also don't want to have to wait for 3 months and then find out that the ballots are all missing and the election doesn't mean anything. That's what's going to happen, Steve. That's common sense. And everyone knows. And no, we will. is ballots is a well. It's a disaster. Trouble. And no, do I want to see a date change? No, but I don't want to see a crooked election. This election will be the most rigged election in history.
All right, guys, I do apologize for the freezing, the buffering, ad infinitum, right? So at times, it's a little difficult to discern whether I'm dealing with technocracy or am I dealing with an actual technical problem. But I think it might be 50-50. Split the hairs a little bit on that. And so I think you kind of get the gist of what he's describing. And it's funny, he kind of even got a nice little dig into the Washington Post. That, they actually got a little truth serum, I guess, before writing this particular article. But why is there, the conflation is always the conflate. For people that don't, so in one instance, for anybody that does any type of that's taking stats or anything, you might find that you'll end up with more absentee ballots than you'll end up with actual mail-in ballots. Like the conflation is real, and they love to do it. Same thing, an immigrant versus an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien. They love to conflate the two. But as they say, and I'm not the originator of this idea or this phrase or the definition here, the term low information voters, they don't know the difference. They're just thinking, hey, we're going to get Trump, get Trump, get Trump, get Trump. That's their whole thing. And every other word out of their mouth. It's Trump, 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 Trump. If it rains, what's in the forecast? Trump. It's a little, it's predictable at this point. However, we'll just give you some definition, something random here. Okay. An absentee ballot is a vote cast by someone who is unable or unwilling to attend the official polling station to which the voter is normally allocated. Methods that have been devised to facilitate this include voting at a different location, postal voting, and online voting. So here it is. I think it's already toast, for the lack of a better word, because there's enough conflation. But it's one thing to have conflation, but then you have it followed up by action. So I'm just thinking, it starts in the mind. The conflation starts in the mind, and it leads to the action. And I think the action is what will go ahead and crash the whole election. If the fact that they've sent anything out already, how is it that the Democrats are allowed to campaign and come up with ways to do things that haven't been done, but then we can't get voter ID. You can't get voter ID. He can't get voter ID. I'm just saying, here it is again. And some people have drawn it down to battles. Well, if you lose this battle, then the whole election is lost, right? That's a major battle. Not all battles are the same weight. They're not. And I think this is another battle. Major battle. Major loss in November. And if we're losing it now, if it's already lost, what's going to happen? What's inevitable? What are you going to do? Take them to court and challenge it? And they're already projecting They're already projecting, oh, he's not going to leave office. They've been saying that for 4 years, almost. Same thing, Hillary Clinton, at the end of her, before the final debates, she was asking Trump if he would accept the outcome of the election. And I will be, that same buzz is still in the air. Keep it alive, right? Keep that in the back of people's minds. Shout out to Joshua Goff. He says, I live in Flint, Michigan. Most blame Trump, but not the Democrats who have been running the state for 80 plus years. Well, you know what? If people aren't careful, they're going to get what they ask for. Sometimes you get what you ask for. And with the way they've got it set up right now, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. They don't care what they have to do. Keith the Faith, this is definitely the left coast that I'm on. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream. Shout out to Joshua Goff. Thank you so much for coming in. Keith the Faith, thank you so much. Let's see, who else do we have here? I know we had the Lockhart perspective here. Thank you so much for coming in. You guys check out the Lockhart perspective. We have great content creators. Unique view. I'll read a few comments here, and then we'll go on to another. I'll try to get to the original follow-up here, but it's nice that you could hear from Trump himself on this. Shout out to Unique View, Keith the Faith, the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you for being here. Joshua Goff. Thank you guys so much for taking care with that thumbs up, thumbs down, or daring to share, or just making sure you're still subscribed. Good morning. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming in. So we'll probably take just a little bit more commentary on the delay, but I think it might be, I don't know. I'm going to read the comment here from, who's this comment we have? It says, Unique View says, Trump is playing mind games with the left, but wanting to delay the election. They always want the opposite. Well, you know what the thing about it is, I think it might be necessary. We're all in, everything is so, we got the dooms, gloom, and we can't even have a second opinion on where we are in terms of the pandemic. We can't even have that. Frontline doctors aren't allowed to speak freely about their frontline experiences. So I don't think it's off. It should be off the table, but we'll see. I think it's already been said that Trump doesn't have the power to delay an election, but who knows? The Democrats seem to have the power to do whatever they want to do. They just have the power to do whatever they want to do. Yeah, see, let me see again. I put the avatar on I'm not really sure. I may need to change the platform if this keeps up, because this has been going on every time. Now, for those of you that join me for the Moonlight stream, I don't remember this happening last night. I don't know if it's because of the amount of traffic that is on YouTube right now. I do think they're probably the numbers. I'm not sure what the broadband is like at this time, but I think more people are back at home again, and maybe that's affecting what's going on. Let me see what's happening. Yeah, it's just, I may have to do something else. I'm sorry. I apologize for that, guys. I will say this: by the next stream, I will have, or either I will just do a face-to-face stream is what I'll do. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's move on. Okay. So let's see if we can do our original have a little commentary here. Hope you guys are doing well out there and that you are enjoying your Friday, or you're at least off to a positive start. And we'll talk a little bit about AG Barr and the performance and the interaction with the Democrats. I mean, wow, they were so insolent on during that entire process. And he could never get a word in without them. Oh, I reclaim my time. Quickly, I'm on short time here. Don't you know I'm on short time? But thank you for coming in, but I'm on short time. I don't have time for you. I don't have time for you to answer my question. Are you kidding me? I'm going to read your comment here. Chrysler Imperial H. He said he's the president of the United States. He should have the power to delay the election. Well, I mean, this is an extenuating circumstance, right? This is a health issue. You've got all these things going on. Why not? He should have the power to delay the election. That ain't going to be satisfying to the Democrats, though. Well, it's, I don't really know. I mean, I really think that many of these rhinos are pushing back. I really think that they're going to start pushing back even more. I don't know if any of these people are ever going to be. We just have too much corruption. There are just layers. If you had an aerial view of corruption, what would it look like? It's pretty thick, right? Pretty tall house of cards is what I would say. So let me see if I can get to this. Just a lot of issues. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to the loyal patrons, Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, Angels Army, Gary L. Youngkees Jr., Little Miss Goth, and also the shout out to Cold War Jesus. Thank you so much for all that you do. Appreciate you guys and your patience on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run another clip here and see what's. It's funny. It only starts to do this. It only starts to do this when I start to stream. During this hour, like I said, I'm just not sure what it is. I did it last night, and I didn't have any problems with it. All right, so I'm going to take you to a clip now. Thank you guys so much. About Time is here. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. It's been a lifetime. All right, guys, I'm going to take you to the clip now. This is going to be Mark Levin here. Shout out to About Time. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. All right, here we are.
Reporting the Postal Service backlogs, sparking worries the ballot delivery could be delayed in November. President's right to call attention to it. There's no intention of delaying the freedom of the press. The host of Life, Liberty, and Levin, #1 show here Sunday nights, 8 p.m., Fox News Channel. I call him the Great One. You know, Mark, we watched this Barack Obama give the eulogy, the service. To building Pelosi. bills. Now, you tell
Right.
me, and this happens
You know,
every
Sean,
2 and 4 years, Mark.
You know, Sean, that Molotov cocktails and all the rest, the good old days for Obama. You know, Obama has milked this country for everything it's worth. He's milked it for he what I can tell you what Eisenhower did. I can tell you what LBJ did. I can tell you what Donald J. Trump did, but I can't tell you what Obama did. Now, I want to educate Obama, the former law school professor, and all the leftist kooks out there. This country, systemically racist, let me tell you something. No country puts hundreds of thousands of men on the battlefield and lose them in a civil war to keep a union and end slavery. The equivalent of 4 million men lost their lives to end slavery. That's a little that Civil Rights Act of 1875, Civil Rights Act of 1957, Civil Rights Act of 1960. Liberals, follow along. Civil Rights Act of 1964, Civil Rights Act of 1965, Civil Rights Act of 1968, Civil Rights Act of 1990, Civil Rights Act of 1991. We have Supreme Court decisions. 1948, Shelley versus 1967, Loving versus Virginia. 1968, Jones versus Meyer. 1971, Griggs versus Duke Power. 1980, speech red, yellow, one off to defeat Hitler and Tojo and Italy, fascist Italy, put their lives on the line. 400 first integrated people. About the nuclear family and personal responsibility and opportunity. Not a single uplifting word for the country that made him rich and made him president and made him powerful. Rather than saying, look at what I've done with my life. Look at what I've become. Look at all the people trying to pour over our border, legally and illegally, of all races. From the third world, south of the border, from the continent of Africa, from the Far East, from the Middle East. George Wallace. His name. From Mississippi. He bragged about working with other segregationists. Joe Biden has said nasty, bigoted things throughout his life, despite the Praetorian Guard left-wing media that protects him in his bubble in his basement and all the rest of it. The fact of the matter is, I know this. Donald Trump in the private sector hired thousands of Black Americans. Tell me, today, the very wealthy Obamas, how many Black Americans have they hired? How many Black Americans? In the in the black community, 1,000 times more than Obama ever dreamed of doing. So Obama gives a good Castro-like speech, but when the rubber hits the road, he's nowhere to be found. That's it.
For the full hour, this Sunday night, Life, Liberty, and Levin, we revert.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me on this segment. Well, that was kind of searing. I think, I didn't see the speech live, but I do have a little bit of it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go through that entire thing, but it's just pretty much the 1960s on replay. I've said that on so many fronts. The same radical efforts. They just repackaged them. The same martyrdom, the corporeal martyrdom. They've already established Obama's already established as a martyr. So if anything were to happen with any of these investigation, that's exactly what he would be, because it's already set. The Communist Party, they train martyrs. They train you how to create your own martyr. And what is this? And I've said this on the Moonlight Stream. We've had the black community has had more martyrs than anybody. And where has that gotten us? I mean, they just keep stoking the fire, right? You can't. What part of the speech was impactful about? Why aren't they reflecting more on John Lewis's life? But this is what they do. They go to these services and they just do all out political attacks. In fact, I will tell you, this is how pathetic it is. I remember the late Aretha Franklin's funeral. Guess who wasn't there? Obama didn't show up to the late Aretha Franklin's funeral, but they managed to get digs into Trump because he said, "Oh, she used to work for me." And I'm just thinking, why take everything to the toilet out of context? I mean, Trump did have a private life, and as a private citizen, people did work for him. Whether they worked for him via construction, whether it was an event, she was an artist. So what else would he be referring to if he were to make a statement like, she worked for me? If he had said, "Oh, she sang for me. Oh, she serenaded me." You just can't make this stuff up. And musicians, we don't have a problem with people saying that, "Oh, you worked for me. She worked for." If the president said that I worked for him, I wouldn't. I don't think that would have blown my hair back, and I really don't think it would have blown the late Aretha Franklin. She would have either affirmed it or said, "No, I don't recall that, sir. I don't." But there again, it wasn't about the passing. It wasn't about her passing, about her legacy. They turned it into, they used the pulpit for their political attacks. And so, I mean, and then the thing about it is, that's the thing about the Al Sharpton types. Those people were shoulder to shoulder with Trump, if I can say, back in the day. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Sharpton didn't borrow some money from Trump himself. I wouldn't be surprised. You have many people that can attest to Trump was loaning people money before when nobody else would loan him any money. But, Sharpton considers himself, I guess, an elite by now. And he is, shout out to you guys. Delecta Camille, how are you? Hi, Simply a Sweetheart. How are you doing? Yeah, so you got all this virtue signaling and this total, this total replay of the 1960s. And nobody, who wants to go back to the 1960s? Because to me, it was a turning point, and just like they're trying to do right now. And I made some references last night. If you haven't had an opportunity to see Uncle Tom, then I would say you should try to check that documentary out, because they give you, you get not only context, you actually get people that actually had active roles. They had roles from that period of time. They actually lived through and bared witness to not only these things, but they also bared witness to success during that time. You don't get much of that narrative. It's almost, it's like a no man's land right after that, right at that point and beyond. So that's what they do. But there again, you should check that one out if you get a chance. I'm not sure where it is in terms of availability right now, but I know it was sold out at one point, and the demand for the movie, or for the documentary rather, was high. So hang in there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you on to a piece from the Federalist on A.G. Barr's performance, or something from his testimony that might be a little bit more unique, other than Nadler denying the A.G. Barr a lunch break, which I honestly, I guess this is why Nadler is one of the reasons why people say, oh yeah, we need term limits for sure, but it's worse than that. It's so much worse than just term limits. So I'll give you a little bit of context there, and then we can see what else has been revealed. Hope you guys are doing well in the stream. Thank you so much for coming in and taking care with that thumbs up and thumbs down button. Really appreciate it. All right. All right, so I'm going to bring you this one. This one's kind of stellar, so it's a short clip, so I'll bring you to that one. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring on your Friday. Also, keep an eye out on your community tab. There is a new article on the community tab also. It's about for your mask edification. So you can keep an eye on that. Oh, Celia's I Wannabes here. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for enduring the rant and the technical difficulties. So I'm going to take you to a little bit of, I guess, a political theater from A.G. Barr. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. About Time says it's been crazy. Yes, it has been. Yes, it has. And it's going to continue to be crazy. The lunacy is not going to stop. So I'm going to take you over there right now. Thanks so much, guys.
Recognized.
Hour for you this.
After this, if you still
Well-
want, we'll have a break.
No, he wants a break
You
now.
want it now?
And you just
Fine.
mentioned
Committee-
rudeness.
committee
I think
will
we're
stand-
seeing it on display. Let's let
committee
the
will
Attorney
stand in
General have a
recess.
break.
Committee will stand in recess now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ay. It's just a bunch of crazy makers. I don't even know. yeah, it's just Nadler is in denial, denies everything. He denies there's anything riotous about the protest, like in Portland. And now he's denying, and then he denied AG Barr. He initially denied it. He said an emphatic no. And I'm just thinking, is that the only thing he has control over, is that gavel? I mean, the same thing Nancy does, just whack the gavel. No. We're almost finished. Can't you wait? So gross. But see, this is the kind of ignorance that we tolerate. I mean, these are clearly career politicians. They've been in for decades. All right, Keith the Faith says, I'm an idiot too. Oh, I'm sorry to read everybody's comments. All right, I'm going to get out of that. So let's go on to something else here. So we're actually going to end this stream in about 15 minutes. So I need to get this going here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I do apologize for the freeze, but I do thank you guys for your patience and for coming in. So this next one is going to come from, I'm going to do the Federalist, which, to be honest, I don't think anything's going to happen with this whole, I don't think anybody's going to be brought to justice. I mean, there's just so much bravado and, but here, the Federalist suggests that Barr's testimony may have revealed another Obama-Biden scandal. Okay, so this is according to the Federalist, and this was written by Margot Cleveland. All right, so according to this, yesterday, AG Barr testified before the House Judiciary Committee on a wide range of topics spanning from the violent riots in Portland to the Supreme Court's illegal immigrants decision. However, beyond that, Democrat members of the House Judiciary Committee had rehearsed pushing the, quote, I reclaim my time, end quote, parliamentary mute button. Americans learned scant new information from Barr's Tuesday testimony. Now, the rare exception came during an exchange with the ranking Republican on the committee, Jim Jordan, when Barr told the Ohio Republican he had tasked U.S. Attorney John Bash of Texas with investigating the high number of unmasking requests that took place during the Obama administration. Now, Jordan, who along with the Republican Devin Nunes has long pushed for answers to the Spygate scandal, queried the Attorney General about the unmasking of Michael Flynn by some 39 officials in the Obama administration from November 8th, 2016 to January 31st, 2017. The former acting director of national intelligence, Rick Grinnell, made public the names of those officials 2 months ago when he declassified a memorandum identifying them. That list included, quote, the former Central Intelligence Agency Director John Brennan, former DNI James Clapper, a former White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough, and former Vice President Joe Biden. Now, the question here is, would 39 separate individuals seeking to unmask the identity of Flynn between Trump's election and the end of January be a normal, quote, normal number, end quote, Jordan asked. Quote, historically, that seems to be a high number, end quote, Barr noted, adding that, quote, the other question you have to ask is, why was this after the election, end quote. So it goes on here, it says Jordan continued by noting that of those 39 Obama officials, 7 people at the Treasury Department unmasked Flynn's name. Is this an issue Durham is looking into? The ranking member asked, referring to Connecticut U.S. Attorney John Durham, whom Barr has tasked with investigating the targeting of the Trump campaign. So it's going to be interesting to see where this. I don't even know. I mean, I've heard there's a plural of hearsay that this report by Durham was hopefully going to be done by the end of the summer. I just don't see it. I don't see it. We'll see. Let's see. About time says every year you lose 8 pounds of dead skin. That's why it takes 25 years to get rid of a politician. Well, thanks for sharing that. We can count on you about time. You know, that was missing from the stream. I thank you so much for coming in and sharing all of that business. sharing your wit on the live stream here. So, all right. So we have, let's see, do we have anything else here? So I'm going to put that link into the stream for you to carry on with that one. So we'll see. I tell you, the only thing else that I had was, I think I'm hearing there's a plural of hearsay that Biden is supposedly going to be picking the VP. I don't know if that's going to happen over the weekend. I've heard some things already about it being Kamala Harris. So I may do a VP buzz. I don't know. Maybe I may do it this weekend, and we'll just kind of go. We'll do the run of the mill with Kamala's background if she is named, if she happens to be named the VP this weekend. I don't know. We will see. Shout out to Celia as I Want to Be. About Time, Joshua Goff, Keith the Faith. Let's see, who else do we have? Simply a Sweetheart, Delacta Camille. Let's see. Chrysler Imperial H. Unique View, the Lockhart Perspective. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this stream. And if there's a chance that I do another live stream, I don't know, it'll probably be really late this evening. I am on Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see what that looks like. But I will actually be on Old School Wolf Media. I'm usually on there on Friday nights. So if I do go on, it'll be after that. So I'm not sure what time your guys is on, what time you guys are on. But I think it could be as late as like 9 PST. You said any VP will be funny no matter the decision. I can see that. I can agree with that. So yes, so we'll do a little bit. About Time says, okay, Autumn crew, good to see you. Have a great day. Really appreciate it. So we have some people here from Arizona, I believe. Arizona or either Northern California, I believe. I'm not sure. I think every now and then I remember those things. But yeah, so keep an eye on the community tab. There's also an article right now. Oh, are you on Mountain Time, Cilias? You're yeah, I will be. It'll probably be. It might be like 9 o'clock or something if I do the Moonlight stream tonight, like 9 o'clock PST. Yeah, if I do it tonight. Okay, so then Keith, then you guys are on this. You're on the same time that I'm on. It's 9:17 here in California. So yeah. So if I do it, it'll be like 9-ish for the Moonlight stream. And I don't know, maybe we'll get into some VP picks on that. And then I'll probably just go ahead and open up for some comments for sure. All right, guys. Really appreciate your patience on today, and I will be working on these things. Your mountain time, okay. That's what I can never get. The mountain time is a little wicked. To me, it is. Okay, why does that do that? So I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream, and I look forward to seeing you guys around. So have a great weekend. Great start to your weekend. I really appreciate you guys. Oops, this is the wrong one. All right, I'm going to get it together here. 1 second and end the stream. So if you guys have anything else, or if you don't have anything else, maybe I'll see you around. If this keeps up, I'll do I've wanted to do like an on location stream anyway, so look out for one of those. Look out for one of those this weekend. All right, guys. Take care.